The $5.95 total body care sale is here. Let's speed review 20 of the new fall body mist from Bath and Body Works. Bath and Body Works Autumn Drive is a juicy raspberry and amber blend. As you may know, I'm not the biggest fan of fruity fragrances. When I smelled this last year, I wasn't impressed, but there is something about this year's scent that is just so bold and sweet and well-rounded. Autumn Drive to me is a great fall fruity body care mist because the raspberry has a dense, more syrupy quality. It's not too tart or too nectary or too pulpy or too juvenile. The amber gives this such warmth and woodiness without the sharpness and smokiness. I like this so much. I even picked up the body butter. I rate this fruity fragrance an 8 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Book Loft is a musky, slightly woody scent with a hint of floral. I don't get anything citrus or bergamot at all. I get a skin scent with some woodiness that reminds me of clean pencil shavings. I usually don't like Neroli very much, but this Neroli is creamy, not sharp, and more subdued. Glossier U is definitely more powdery and floral, but Book Loft would layer really nicely with that perfume. Compared to Bath and Body Works Must Number 3, Book Loft is very similar, just more floral and missing that rice element. You don't need both. I rate this woody fragrance a 7 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Champagne Apple and Honey is a very sharp, crisp apple with honey and a dry champagne. I've never liked this scent, and I'm annoyed that it returns every single year. If you know me, you know that I generally dislike apple scents, but this apple combined with the dry alcohol champagne is just so off-putting to me. I rate this Fruity Woody a 3 out of 10. By the way, my name is Pearl Denise and I love sharing beauty reviews. Check my page, check my channel. You'll see that I review Victoria's Secret body mist, makeup, perfume, body care. If you want honest reviews, you must follow honest creators. Bath and Body Works Free as a Flower is an orange blossom with lavender. I would have preferred to see Fairytale return instead of this. Fairytale is more fruity and complex and interesting. This does smell like leaf, but I just don't care for this redundancy. I rate this one floral a 5 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Ghoul Friend from this year's Halloween collection is a sweet, citrusy strawberry with soft florals. The strawberry is slightly overripe, not tart or juicy, and has a density that makes it more mature. The citrus is there, but it's not giving me anything too tart or sour. I think it serves to keep the strawberries from getting too syrupy and bold. I smell the peonies mostly in the dry down, but the florals are definitely there. Bath and Body Works Gold Friend share similar notes to Victoria's Secret Pink Good Ghoul, but Good Ghoul is way sweeter and more candied. My fragrance taste leans more floral, so I definitely prefer Gold Friend. I rate this fruity floral a 7.5 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Glazed Pumpkin is a caramelized pumpkin. This is the type of fragrance that I hate. This is the type of stinky gourmand that I hate. The pumpkin is too spicy, it's too milky, so it smells spoiled and clashes with the caramel, which is way, way too sweet. This is the rare fragrance that makes me gag. I rate this gourmand a 1 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Honeycomb is a honey fragrance that leans a bit floral to me. This is last year's packaging, but the fragrance is exactly the same. I don't know what the floral notes are for this, but I'm getting a slightly solar floral that reminds me of ylang ylang. It's very slight though, it doesn't really take over the fragrance. The honey is the most dominant scent here, but I appreciate how the florals prevent this from being too stickly, sick, sweet. I rate this Solar Gourmand an 8 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Inner Angel is a baked apple pie with tonka that smells similar to angel share. It's not bad, it's just overrated to me. I don't want to smell like a cinnamon apple pie. I rate this gourmand a 5 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Ice Cream I Float is a fizzy cola with vanilla sugar. This instantly reminded me of the Haribo fizzy cola gummy candies. You know the ones with like the little sugar that like is kind of sour. The cola has a slight root beer vibe, and I also get a little bit of the sourness. Ice cream I float is not tart, however, it dries and I get a sugar with a slight hint of vanilla. This is more of a novelty fragrance, but it's fun and I'll probably buy a backup. I rate this gourmand an 8 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Mediterranean Mirage gave me nothing. Well, nothing but a dry amber and a fresh, slightly aquatic, barely there musk. I'll opt out of the sinking ship. I rate this fresh fragrance a 4 out of 10. Bath and Body Works milk is sweet oats with whipped cream. This is last year's packaging, but they listened to us and brought it back this year. This is an almost perfect milky fragrance because it manages to be distinctly milk while maintaining a light airiness. Adding the sweet oats was a genius move because the oats add a carb, bread-like quality with creaminess that is not going to smell stinky or spoiled. Milk is one of my favorite body mists in my entire collection. I rate this gourmand an 8.5 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Off the Vine is a green and aromatic tomato stem. This does not smell like tomato sauce to me at all. There is definitely a tomato garden vegetable quality, but it's such a green fragrance that I get more of the plant. The geranium and moss notes also move this away from food and more towards the actual garden. This is absolutely not blind buy safe, not at all. Off the Vine is a nod to niche perfumery and is off the beaten path for sure, but some people are not going to want to cross that path. I am so glad to have this in my collection. I rate this aromatic a 7.5 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Pink Obsessed is a re-release. It smells the same as the first release in 2024, maybe not as strong, I don't know. I still don't like it. The bourbon overshadows the jasmine. I can't smell the vanilla at all, and it's just too dry and boozy for my taste. I rate this one floral a 4 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Rich Espresso is coffee to the max. This is a bitter black coffee. This is a dark roast with just a touch of hazelnut in the coffee beans. This is a boardroom 5 a.m. call Patagonia vest wearing coffee. If you know, you know. There is no cream, no foam, no sweetness in rich espresso. This coffee is black coffee, no sugar, no cream. That's the kind of girl I need down with my team. Anyway, memories of my dad singing in the car. Comment if you know what I'm talking about. This gourmand gets an 8 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Sunrise Woods is a sandalwood cashmere with a hint of berries. It doesn't smell bad, it's just very mediocre to me. The sandalwood is smooth and not as herbal as I usually like, and the cashmere adds a very slight suede leather quality. The berries to me lean more tart. I rate this fresh woody a 4 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Sweater Weather in body mist form is a fresh apple that leans woodsy and masculine. I don't hate the apple here since it leans fresh and crisp. I do, however, feel very angry that this is a completely different fragrance than the candle. The candle is an aromatic, herbal, woody heaven with eucalyptus and sage and some sweetness from the juniper berries. This body mist is nothing of the sort. I rate this fresh fragrance a 2 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Vanilla Cafe is a vanilla flavored coffee with lots of cream and sugar. It's still a very high quality coffee. Those coffee beans are robust and nutty and not sour or watered down, but there's some hazelnut creamer added. There's definitely lots of sugar here, and the vanilla divine. This is completely different than Bath and Body Works Midnight Amber Glow, which leans less coffee and more latte vanilla bourbon. Vanilla Cafe is one of the best fragrances that I have ever smelled in this brand. This gourmand is easily a 10 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Vanilla Ease is a vanilla with lavender. I like lavender, but lavender scents have a tendency to trample every other note. Lavender tends to overwhelm, making everything super floral and herbal. Luckily, this fragrance has enough vanilla to prevent that from happening. Vanilla Ease is still very much a lavender fragrance, but I'm so glad to get some sweetness from this woody vanilla. I didn't like this at first, but I suggest letting this settle on your skin before making a rash judgment. It's very similar to Burberry Goddess, but is missing that spicy ginger. I rate this warm floral an 8 out of 10. Bath and Body Works with honey and vanilla is a very light vanilla bean with a touch of honey. This was probably my biggest disappointment because it was so watered down that I could barely smell anything. From what I could tell, the vanilla is not very sweet with a light, smooth touch of honey. Skip this and get cozy vanilla cashmere from Victoria's Secret instead. I rate this gourmand a 3 out of 10. Bath and Body Works Wicked Vanilla Woods smells different this year. This is a very woody vanilla with pink pepper and amber, but to me, it's kind of dry and missing so much sweetness this year. And that's why it stayed in the store. I rate this woody vanilla a 6 out of 10. Okay, so these rapid reviews became not so rapid, but thank you so much for sticking around and watching it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, I'm Pearl Denise, and this is Beauty Body Pearl.